Now we're going to be looking at how to solve absolute value equations. So the absolute value of a number is the distance away from zero. So if we look at a number line, and if we have 0 and we have -7 and 7, the absolute value of these numbers is the same because this distance is the same as this distance. So because the absolute value function doesn't behave quite the same as normal numbers, we have to take a few extra steps when we're solving equations that have absolute value functions inside of them. So the real big difference here is that this one equation, in order to solve it, we're going to have to turn it into two. So the first one, we're just going to drop the absolute value signs. So we're just going to keep 3x minus 6 equals 9. And this second one, what we're going to change here is we want to turn that into -9, and that's super important. So that is the one difference here. We're going to make two different equations. One's going to have the same answer as the original equation. The other one is going to have the inverse of the other equation. So if your answer was negative in the original equation, in your second new one, it would be positive, okay? So you need one answer positive, one answer negative. And now all we're going to do is solve it like we would normally. So add 6 to both sides. 3x equals 15. Divide by 3, x equals 5. And over here, we're going to add 6. 3x equals -3, x equals -1. So here we have two answers. We have the x equals 5 and x equals -1. The correct way to represent your answer is to say that x equals 5 or x equals -1. Okay, that is not an and situation. Both of those numbers won't work in every single case. It's either 5 or it's -1.